Deal. Gotta go. See you later. She hung up without waiting for me to say goodbye, which was also typical. But it's hard to blame Van for her flightiness when she's in a profession that forces her to be fake on a daily basis. I don't know how she does it, but acting's been her dream for as long as either of us can remember. Definitely not something we have in common. I palmed my phone and headed back to class with what my father would call a spring in my step. Despite my annoyance at the poor timing of the insistent phone calls, I was happy for Van, who obviously got the part. Plus, free BLT. Everybody wins. It was shaping up to be a great day. And I hadn't had one of those in a while. Vanessa had beaten me to the diner, but it took me a minute to realize it because she was decked out in full hidden star mode. Sunglasses, baseball cap, and an unassuming outfit of Gap jeans and a striped tee. I'm surprised you didn't throw on your old Raggedy Ann wig just to really throw off the paparazzi, I said as I slid into the seat across from her in our usual booth, smiling when I saw that she'd already ordered me an Arnold Palmer. Oh, mock if you must. Vanessa sighed dramatically. But when one is the star of Hollywood's hottest new teen drama, one must take special precautions. She leaned over and took a sip of the raspberry iced tea in front of her, her enormous aviators blocking the coffee brown eyes I knew must have been twinkling behind them. I knew you got it! I jumped up from my seat and squeezed Van around her shoulders, knocking her cap to the ground. Congrats, Van! I know this was a big one for you. Oh, but I haven't yet told you just how big. She reached down and grabbed her hat, putting it on the table next to her tea, and then glanced around quickly as I sat back down across from her before taking off her sunglasses as well. I mean it when I say I'm the star. You're looking at Bailey Summers, baby! Van's squeal was so high-pitched that I was sure I'd heard her wrong. What are you talking about, V? I thought you were auditioning for a character named Grace. I was, said Van, pausing for a sip of her drink, but they loved me so much that they asked me to try out for the lead instead, and I got it. I thought they wanted some tall, blonde babe to be the lead, I said, still confused. I could swear I'd been listening closely to Van when she'd described the show to me, but maybe I'd been in a bigger studying haze than I'd thought. Didn't you say, and I quote, "That bitch Zoe Knight totes has it in the bag"? I distinctly remember wanting to vomit that you used the word totes in real life. That was the original plan, but I guess that the acting talents of Miss Vanessa Park were enough to convince the powers that be that Bailey Summers, love interest of the super hot Tristan Monroe, played by none other than the super hot Liam Holloway, was meant to be a petite Korean chick. Van's smile was so bright, it practically lit up the entire exterior of the lunchbox. And I couldn't help mirroring it. I'd never seen her look so happy over a role, even if I didn't entirely understand why. They've already cast my parents, so they're just going to capitalize on how hot foreign adoption is right now. She air-quoted that last bit and rolled her eyes, but it barely detracted from her gleeful expression. That's so awesome, Van. You deserve it, and I'm glad they were smart enough to see it. Now, where is our freaking waiter already so we can order you something celebratory? I skipped lunch to work on my article about the talent show, and I am starving. Already ordered, Van said proudly, as a waiter emerged with 2 plates. One holding the promised BLT, and the other containing Van's signature salad. Literally. The lunchbox named it after her because she got it so often, and she's by far their highest-profile customer, though she and I were such regulars that no one even blinked at the sight of her anymore. "I'll be right back with your fries," he said, nodding slightly before disappearing back into the diner. Vanny, you are not only a TV star, you are totally the star of my heart. I lifted my Arnold Palmer. Can we toast to your success now or what? She must have been excited.